I had a long weekend before I start my new job, and I was really excited for it because it gave me a couple days to just like film cool videos. And like, I mean, I think they're cool, but you might not like my channel. I don't know why you'd be watching it if you didn't, but whatever. So I thought, oh cool, I'll have like time to like sew black clothes because I have to wear all black in my new job. Like, and I forgot. I didn't do any sewing, and I start my new job tomorrow, and now I don't have anything to wear, so gonna be naked. It's gonna be fun. Well, I'm in sewing my all black wardrobe hell, so I figured I'll take this giant pink tie-dye shirt that I have laying in my my to cut up bin and make something fun for the weekend since I cannot wear it to work. So I think it is a pretty big shirt, so a 3XL. You want to get like a really good cotton shirt that's not going to have too much stretch for this to work. And I'm just going to make a cute little ruffle sleeved crop top, hopefully, and then I will paint on the front of it. Now what I've done here is I have measured it against one of the shirts that I already have that I like the fit of, so it's not too cropped. It's just gonna fit like just right. And you can see here I have used some pastels to mark, do not use oil pastel. I use chalk pastel, and be careful because sometimes the colors that you may use may stain your fabric, but I wanted you to be able to see it. So chalk pastel, and I just drew right across where I am going to chop. Important question that I keep asking all of my Tumblr followers: what finger do you snap on? And now that we've separated the hem from the crop top of the shirt, we're going to work on the sleeves. And since I want this to fit really big and kind of loose like a muscle tank, I'm just going to straight up cut off the sleeves. No measuring, no seam ripping, no nothing. Now that we've separated that out, but the sides are still attached, we haven't touched the sides, what we're going to do is we're going to measure the actual length of one of the sleeves, and we need to do 1.5, I think, times fabric, like 1.5 the amount of fabric that it would take to go around this. So like for a fitted sleeve, you're going to do the exact amount, but I want a slightly ruffled sleeve, so we're going to do 1.5 to 2 times the amount of this measurement here. So this measures to about 12.5. You're going to want to do something along the lines of, so it's, 24 to 25. When it's flat, you're going to want to add half, like another 12 inches to that, or maybe even if you want a super big ruffle, go up to another 24 inches to that. So we're going to use the hem piece and probably part of the sleeve. I'm probably going to have to take this and add to it, like, so measure out the amount that I need from this and then use the sleeve to fill it in. So we'll see how that goes. Okay, so this whole piece at the bottom of the shirt measured 26 inches. So what I want to do is, and this is like the most complicated thing I've ever had to explain in a video, is I made each side have a 2-inch side and a 2.5-inch side. So 2.5 to 2. So it's going to be slightly like triangular, and we're going to cut the short half. Like we'll cut this and this, but we're going to leave the longer ones because I want my ruffle to be a little taller in the shoulder. And essentially what you should have is you should have a ruffle that has a skinny side and a thick side. We're going to cut the skinny sides and not, and like, actually that's a lie. We're not going to cut the skinny sides. We're going to cut the thick sides because we're going to add more fabric to the thicker side. So I don't know if this is going to work, but I noticed that while I was cutting, one of the things that was kind of cool about using the old sleeve is that it had a curve to it. So I cut this curved piece, which should give us more of a ruffle. So hopefully that works. All I did, you can see, is I took the original curve of the sleeve and I just cut the edges off like that. So just cut that part off, and then we're going to sew these ends to here, and then we're going to gather our ruffle with a very loose running stick. And just real close so that you can see while I'm putting the sleeves on, what I did was I did a 1 tension running stitch, and all you have to do is kind of pluck pluck at the threads and they pull out. So there's a lot of YouTube tutorials on how to do gathering stitches. That's all I did though. I did like a really loose stitch and then I just pull it as I go along. Okay, quick note before I finish this, I just wanted to show you, I actually feel like the shoulders are a little bit long on me, so I'm going to take a dart in through the shoulders, and a dart is just going to be kind of like a diagonal sort of shape to pinch the shoulders up. I do have to make sure that these places that I pinched to get the perfect fit are kind of the same spot. I should probably have done that with the shirt inside out, but it'll be okay because I know I need to take about 2 inches in from each shoulder. So I am going to put a dart in the shoulder just to like cinch that in and make it a little bit more fitted to my body. Okay, now that we've done the hard part, which is the sewing, I'm going to go ahead and paint a little slogan on the front. This is inspired by a shirt I saw at Walmart last summer with my mom. And it's actually why there's a slightly tie-dyed effect on this shirt already. It's because I saw a pink tie-dyed shirt in the men's section of Walmart last year, and all it said in the front in really small letters was work of art. And I said to my mom, oh my god, I want this shirt, because I feel like a disaster all the time, but, you know, I pretend I'm a work of art. And she's like, you could make that. So I came home, I put this pink shirt that I had already into a light bleach bath, gave it that tie-dyed marble look, and then promptly forgot to finish the DIY for like a year, but it works out in your favor because now you get to see it. So, since there was a request to watch me paint some fabric, this is the first thing I'll paint for you for fabric. What you're going to need is some stencils to make your lettering. I traced my stencil on instead of painted it on because I find that that gives me a little bit more control. And you're also going to need some paint. Now, I will be working with this tube of paint, but secretly what's inside is not the same. I emptied out all of the puff paint because I don't like the texture of puff paint into a Tupperware, and then I filled it with acrylic paint and fabric medium. It will fade over time, but I do like that this is a little bit softer, and it won't fade completely. It'll just give it that nice lived-in kind of look. It's what I use all the time when I'm painting fabric. But yes, I use the fabric medium and the acrylic paint, but because I'm doing lettering, I would like a fine point to my lettering, and so that is why I have this. Now you always just want to do like a test strip. Make sure it's not coming out too thick or too thin. This might be a little too runny, but we're going to try. We're going to give it a shot. And I think I will go through and fill in the letters. You don't have to, but I think for this one specifically, I would like to fill in the lettering. I have been sewing my whole life. I've been sewing since I was 3 years old. But I wasn't great at it for a really long time, and I didn't practice a lot. So one of the things that I used to do when I was younger, just to like kind of DIY my wardrobe, even though I didn't know how to sew, is I used to paint t-shirts. Like, you remember like in the 2010s how like everyone had like celebrity stenciled t-shirts? Like that was what I would do in high school to try and like customize my wardrobe. You definitely want to make sure that you have something thick underneath the layer, like in between the layers of fabric, because if you don't, you're going to end up with something bleeding through, and you don't want that. And again, I'm not selling these, so I'm not really even concerned if it's perfect. I'm like, if it's good enough, if it's something that I will enjoy wearing, it doesn't have to look like it was professionally stamped on there, like by a machine, you know? That's not the point to DIY for me. DIY is so that it looks like I made it. It looks kind of cool. It looks kind of unique. And if anyone asks, I can just be like, yeah, I totally did that. It used to annoy me so bad when people would be like, oh my god, did you make it? Because I knew that they were asking because they could tell. But now it's kind of like, yeah, I did. What do you do? All right, easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Perfect. So you just set this to the side, it'll dry, and as soon as it's dry, I will take pictures and we will see how it looks. And I have to say, I really like how it turned out. I think it looks really unique. I think the darts are pretty cool. I'm about to do that to one of the black shirts that I've been making, and I'm excited to wear it this spring. So I hope you enjoyed seeing this video. My, what a nerd. My neighborhood, unless it's like 7 o'clock at night or it's overcast, has just the worst lighting. It's like a Sims build out here. If you like this video, please consider liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing it with your friends, and I'll see you next time.